Greetings. Thank you for taking part in this faculty meeting. It's always good to be able to stand before you or sit before you. I want to talk about a few things that are going to be most important as we move forward to our tax testing season. First thing, I want to thank you all for working so hard on the benchmarks and preparing the students. They did very well. There's still room for improvement, especially as it relates to our math and our reading. Reading, we're sitting around 82% at this point. There's still room to go because, of course, that is an area that has to be above 90% and above 90% in each subgroup. Also with math, we're sitting about 65% at this point. Last year at this time, we were sitting around 60%. So we do see where we are able to go. What does that mean to you? Again, a lot of work to be done. Everybody here must be part of that process, and I know that you're all committed to doing what's best for the students here at Drane Intermediate. We will have another round of benchmarks. Let's think to the week before spring break. Reading will take place on Wednesday, March 10th, and math will take place on Tuesday, May 9th. Again, that's the week before spring break. Something that's going to be important as it relates to your students is they must show growth. Let's take student A, for example. If he or she made an 80 on their math benchmark, well, on the next benchmark, they should have a 90. Just as that student, if they made a 60 on math or reading, they need to show growth. Where does that growth come from? First of all, the student has to move and want to grow intrinsically, but it's also your job to ensure that they have all the concepts mastered to ensure overall growth. We're working very hard in our intervention groups, in which I will talk about later. Flex days. I know some of you have been kind of itchy to find out what's going to happen on our flex days. Again, they are February 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The lists are being created and the activities are being planned. Ms. Copeland is heading up a committee that's working on that. So if you're not part of that committee, we will definitely get information to you at a later date. Continue to stay tuned for more information. And also remember, if a student passed reading with a 90 but made a 50 on math, that student still has to attend flex days for all 3 days. So they're working to provide that information and also to provide activities for those students that will be most beneficial to them. One of the things we're doing is working to ensure that we're helping students in each objective or each expectation that they're weak in, so that we can help them where they need the most help. Tutorials. I know some of you have been asking questions. I've been visiting, especially in the math department meetings and the reading department meetings, to talk about our intervention and our tutorial groups. Kind of what's going on at this time is we have 2 math interventions running from Ms. Thomason and Ms. Whistler, and we also have Marie Carbo going on. But something that will be starting on Monday, February 8th, will be what I call concept recovery, or some would say conference period tutorials. But it will be students who will go to their math teacher for during their elective period to get help in those concepts that they're weak in. So those students won't go to their elective, they'll go to their teacher or to another math teacher to help with them. And then the following week, we will have reading. So math will go 1 week, reading will go the next week. And we'll continue that through the next benchmark when we create new groups. And I'm very appreciative to your positive support that you've given to that. I know that takes away from valuable planning time, but I always feel that we have to always do what's best for our students, and spending that contact time with you will work to achieve the growth that we expect in all of our students. One of the things that's going to be important is that you encourage your students to attend tutorials, especially after school tutorials. We've worked hard to come up with groups and to call parents, and I appreciate you all for calling parents and working with Ms. Palacios to call our bilingual parents so that those students are here for tutorials. Remember, we tutor after school for at least 1 hour, and you will be paid $25 an hour to do those tutorials. One thing that's important is that we get with Dana to make sure that our sign-up sheets are being signed, because if you don't sign them and you don't get them in, then you will not be paid. So that is most important, that you're being paid for your time. As I said, in your classes, spend a minute or two every day encouraging students to attend tutorials, to be on time for concept recovery, and to be on time for their intervention classes. Like I always say, they look for you. You are the one that has the most information for them. They listen to you. They know you better than anyone. So here at school, so encourage them to do that every day. The students who will be going to your concept recovery or your conference period time will be receiving passes tomorrow during lunch. That pass will tell them where they are to go, and also it's a note to give to their parents as well, so their parents are aware of what they will be participating in. We want it to be as smooth as possible. One of the things that I talked about in the math and reading department meeting was that I will need you all to be flexible as it relates to all of the different groups are going on. I understand some students may not get there as fast, or maybe they will forget one day and end up at an elective when they're supposed to be in an intervention or tutorial class. Do not panic. Simply call down to the office and we will get help. Maybe the student's absent, maybe they forgot, or maybe they are pretending to forget. But we're definitely going to help them find where they're supposed to be. So don't panic. Simply get with us, and we're going to get that student to your class. Your calm demeanor and support will always make the process much easier. So I'm always appreciative to that. One of the things in your tutorial groups, keep pushing the students, encouraging them. You know they will get tired, but it's our job to motivate them and encourage them that we have high quality, engaging lessons, number one, in our classroom during our 90-minute blocks, and also during our tutorial time, that there are things that you are using that's going to improve the student as they move along. Continue to ask questions. I talked about in the math meeting yesterday. You've got to ask questions. You've got to continue to check. Get those kids up to those smart boards. Get those kids up there to see if they are understanding what it is you're teaching. A formative check. We check every day. We're checking every 20 minutes while we're teaching and while we're working with the students to ensure that they are getting that concept. If we don't see that they're getting it, then there may not be any growth. One other thing that will be most important and never easy to talk about, but if there are any of you who are here who are thinking about not coming back to Drane next year, you need to come into my office to let me know. This is the time of year that we're working on contract renewals, and I'll have to get with human resources. And the earlier that I know those things, if you are choosing not to come back, the better chance that we have to find someone who is good to work with our students. Not good, but great to work with our students. We definitely hate to lose you, but we want to be able to find the best person for the job. Remember, as we go through the day, remember to work to keep disruptions low. Minimal disruptions are instrumental in our day, every day here at Drane. And you've always worked hard to do that, making sure that we're at our doors between passing periods, that we're actively monitoring in the classroom each period. And that also means having high quality, engaging classrooms. If our classrooms are engaging, then that will bring disruptions down to a minimum. But I do want to leave you with a word of thought. As it gets tough, and we will get tired as we move through this season, but continue to press on. I've told you before that all the things that we do, this is a ministry, and this is a ministry of helping children. You've all been called, and whatever the calling may be, but you're called to teach. And that is to help students, not to relax, not to care, but to come in every day and do all you can for the betterment of our students. They depend on us every day. They care about you, and I know you care about them. But we've got to do everything that we can to ensure overall success. It's our job. It's what we've been charged to do. You can never forget that. When you get tired, when you get weary, you've got to think, it's that student that I'm doing this for. When you feel like you can't go on anymore, it's that student that you're doing it for. And you know what? They're going to get frustrated. But if you're ready, if you're charged up, if you're energetic every day and ready to work, that's going to pull them even more. But if we come in lethargic and tired and act as if we don't care, then they will not care either. So it starts with you. I count on you every day, and that's because you're great. I tell you all the time, you are the best. You're the best in CISD, and we will show everyone that we're the best. Thank you for your time.